The game had stopped, not officially, but spiritually. Footballs weren't moving. Stadiums stood still. What echoed now weren't chants, but shockwaves circling the planet faster than any breaking goal ever had. Diogo Jota was gone, and those who once ran beside him, those who celebrated with him, those who tried to stop him, were now united in a pain they didn't know how to name. Cristiano Ronaldo's tribute hit first. Not from a PR manager or agent, he typed it himself. The caption was short, but the heartbreak bled through every letter. I don't know what to say. I keep hearing your laugh from training just last week. We were talking about our sons, about legacy, about how fast time flies. And now you're gone? This can't be real. My heart breaks for your wife, your children, for all of us. The pitch will never feel the same again. He posted a candid photo. Diogo mid-laugh, mouth wide, arms crossed, shirt half soaked from a humid practice session. No filters. Just memory frozen in pixels. It became the most shared image in football history within 2 hours. Lionel Messi followed not with grandeur, but gravity. His post read only QEPD, Descansa en paz, hermano. Rest in peace, brother. But what shook fans wasn't just the text, it was the image attached. A never-before-seen candid, where Messi and Jota were off the field, no cameras. No lights, just two men seated on a bench, drinking water, both smiling like children who still love the game. A moment untouched by ego, the kind you don't stage. The kind you don't forget. KYLIAN Bap responded later that evening. He had been silent for hours offline, refusing all press requests. When he finally spoke, it was as if a dam had broken. I'm still trying to understand how the world can be so cruel. We weren't teammates, but you were my brother. We wore different shirts, but spoke the same football. You are fire. You are grace. You were one of the good ones, and the good ones always leave too soon. He included 3 photos. One where they faced off. One from a tunnel map looking back as Jota smiled behind him. And one completely black, with a candle flickering in the corner. Rest well, legend, he wrote. Rest in light. And then came I Show Speed, whose reaction left the internet breathless. Known for chaotic streams and unpredictable passion, Speed was uncharacteristically quiet. No yelling, no soundboard. Just him, live on camera, eyes swollen, voice trembling. He clicked on a photo him and Jota after a match and whispered, "Why, man? Why him?" Then silence. He sat back, buried his face, and ended the stream. His later post included only 2 emojis. That was all. And somehow, was everything. Jude Bellingham's tribute struck another nerve entirely. Not just because of what he said, but because of what he revealed. People don't know what Diogo was like off camera. After our Champions League match in 2022, I had missed a crucial penalty. I was crushed. I was sitting alone in the tunnel, trying not to cry. Jota walked past, then turned back. Sat beside me. Didn't say much. Just put a hand on my back and said, "You're going to be better than all of us one day. Just not today." That's okay. I never told anyone that. Until now. His caption ended with, "That's the kind of man we lost. A brother. A soul. Real one. Rest easy, warrior." These weren't just players posting tributes. These were pillars of modern football cracking, open letting the world see their pain without polish, without armor. And the wave kept building. Neymar posted a tribute in Portuguese, recalling their time in Brazil for a charity game. We joked about switching leagues. He said he'd try out for Santos if I joined Wolves. That was Diogo, competitive but kind. Dangerous on the field. Gentle off it. Brazil mourns with Portugal today. Luis Diaz, visibly shaken, cancelled all interviews, but left a handwritten note at Anfield's growing memorial wall. It read, "You were more than my teammate. You were my family in red." Even rivals broke the silence. Ruben Dias, João Felix, Bernardo Silva, and others changed their profile pictures to all black. In Manchester, Erling Haaland posted a single word, "Respect," followed by a photo of Jota's last match, eyes focused, hair drenched, heart on fire. The Premier League announced a 48-hour blackout of celebratory posts. No victory memes. No goal recaps. Just reflection in the dressing rooms across Europe. Captains passed around Jota's image and asked for 1 minute not of silence, but of shared memory. Stories, smiles, tears. No cameras were allowed. Just men in grief, remembering another who gave everything. Even the greats of the past came forward. Zinedine Zidane tweeted, "A player like Jota reminded me why we fall in love with football in the first place. A man of courage, humility, and rhythm. Heaven has gained a finisher." And in a moment that felt bigger than sport, the Vatican released a statement offering prayers for Jota's wife, children, and brother. The message closed with, "Even the angels cry tonight." But this was just the beginning. The tributes were coming in waves, and the world wasn't ready for how deep this loss would echo. The tributes from players were only the beginning. What followed was a global ripple. A silence that fell not just in stadiums, but in homes, in hearts, in countries that didn't even speak his language, yet mourned him like a son. At Knollwood, Liverpool's training ground, the doors didn't open at their usual time. No drills, no briefings, just an empty pitch under a gray sky. Jurgen Klopp was seen arriving alone. No entourage, no smile. Just a single red rose in his hand and a letter in the other. He walked out to the center circle, knelt down, placed the flower, and whispered something only the wind could carry away. When the press finally reached him days later, his voice cracked before his first sentence. "I've coached hundreds, but there are only a few who feel like family." Diogo was one of them. He didn't need to speak loudly to be heard. His presence, you felt it. His loss, we feel it even louder. He paused, looked away, then added, "The grass will grow again. But this hole, this one stays." Liverpool FC released an official statement titled, "Gone but never alone." It read, "He wore our crest with pride, fought with heart, celebrated with humility. We will never forget the joy he gave, the fight he brought, and the soul he carried. Our love and strength go to his wife, his children, and to the brother we lost beside him." All Premier League clubs changed their profile banners to black. No match previews. No transfer rumors. Just a single headline. Diogo Jota, 1996 to 2025. Forever in our game. In Portugal, the national team canceled a public training session. Instead, they held a closed-door memorial at Estádio da Luz. Every player arrived wearing black suits. No one spoke to the media. Inside, photos of Jota and his brother André were placed side by side, beneath the Portuguese flag and a handwritten message from the captain. "We didn't just lose a striker. We lost a brother who made us laugh, lifted us after losses, and reminded us why we started playing in the first place." And then came the fans, the lifeblood of the game. Across every city he ever touched, they showed up in ways no one expected. Outside Anfield, the gates overflowed with tributes, red scarves, white candles, handwritten letters in 6 different languages. A little girl, no older than 9, left a drawing of Jota scoring a goal with a rainbow in the background and the words, "Miss you already." An older man left a note that read, "I watched you from the cop. You made an old man cheer like a boy again. Thank you." In Wolverhampton, fans returned to the Molineux Stadium, not to celebrate, but to grieve. A huge banner stretched across the south bank. Our wolf never left. They held a night vigil, lanterns lit, fans standing in silence as local musicians played You'll Never Walk Alone with violins. In Porto, where his journey began, someone spray-painted a mural over Night Jota as a child in a football jersey, walking into the clouds, hand in hand with his younger brother, at Camp Nou. The big screen displayed his face in grayscale before kickoff. Over 90,000 fans stood still. Not one voice, not one chant. Just breath held and hearts shattered. Children around the world were seen recreating his signature goal celebration. Coaches canceled drills and instead held circles where kids could. Write letters to Jota's family. One boy in Ghana said, "He was small like me, but he still scored big goals. I wanted to be like him. I still do." In Tokyo, a club held a moment of silence while fans placed his name on jerseys they wore backwards, symbolizing the world turning its back on fate. And still, the tributes poured in. UEFA announced that every Champions League match that week would feature a full minute of remembrance, not silence, but applause. Loud, thunderous, defiant, because the world didn't want to cry in silence anymore. They wanted to celebrate the spark, the fire, the man. Commentators broke down mid-broadcast. Veteran sports anchors cried live on air. One said, "We've reported on wins, on losses, but today, we report on heartbreak." Meanwhile, musicians wrote songs in his name. Artists sketched him from memory. A fan even got a tattoo of Jota's face beside a quote, "Heroes wear cleats, legends leave footprints on soles." Nike paused their entire football campaign and re-released his last ad with just one line. Diogo Jota didn't play the game. He honored it. And amid all the global noise, his wife posted a single message, the first since his passing. A blurry picture of him, asleep on the couch, holding all three of their kids. Her caption read, "He didn't belong to just me. He belonged to all of you. Thank you for loving him the way I did." In that moment, the world didn't feel like countries and clubs. It felt like a family in grief, a family standing still for a player, for a father, for a man they wished they'd never have to say goodbye to.